Hello and welcome back to Build Reparation Lab at Devoxx France 2024, coming to you live from Paris. And where will I meet my dearest friend George Long?
Hey!
If not in Paris?
No, not here.
I mean,
Surely not.
yeah, surely not. I mean, we have other places to meet,
Right.
but look at us, we meet in Paris as well.
Yes. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you. How have you been? It's been a couple of months since I saw you last.
We saw each other in Tennessee.
Yes, you
was,
came
a
to
lot
our
of fun.
meetup, and that was absolutely pleasure. It was, yeah, no, it was fun. How have you been? What's new? How it's going?
It, I live in San Francisco.
Yes.
There's something in the air right now. Is this whole AI thing?
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
San Francisco is the mecca of AI.
It has gotten a little out of hand. Yeah, you go to like any restaurant and you'll hear people talking about the AI hustle that they have.
Right, especially Hayes Valley. That's like the mecca
Right.
inside the mecca. There is one neighborhood in San Francisco which is like
Bustling.
everything
Yeah.
busting with AI, just
Yeah.
busting with AI.
And so now I'm here in France, and it's nice to hear people talk about regular things like the weather or something, whatever. I'm just like But here you walk in Devoxx France, everybody's talking about everything, including AI. But outside, it's just regular conversations, and it feels very nice.
And there is no AI at all. But you know what? There is. You don't need to be ashamed in any way or form when it comes to AI, because Spring Framework has
Spring AI.
does very nice things with AI.
sure.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, I love your hat.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Realized your hat is amazing. Second of all, we have this project called Spring AI. Spring AI is if you think about how you work with an AI system these days, a lot of us are talking about LLMs, in specific generative AI. And LLMs have text as input and text as output a lot of times. They also take pictures and multimedia sometimes. They can give you good answers if they know the answer. They can articulate the answer well, right? But what happens when they don't know the answer? What if they don't know about your bank database, the database with your bank account information or whatever, right? They don't know about your systems in your company. So the question then is, how do you teach it enough so that it has a good response when somebody else comes along and asks it questions about their bank account or whatever? And that whole pipeline of switching, of like getting data from a source, ingesting it, putting it in the like a vector database, and then retrieving that from your LLM.
This is what's called the RAG.
RAG,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
Retrieval augmented generation. So Spring AI supports all of that, right? It has like, I don't know, maybe a dozen integrations with LLMs, a dozen vector databases, a lot, right? It has all those integrations, but it has the whole pipeline, right?
And this is where that's one scenario when you want to teach
Right.
a model with your data,
Right.
augmented with your data.
Yeah.
And there might be another scenario when you want to get information from different LLMs
Right.
in a unified way, kind of Spring data model.
You got it. We have an abstraction for LLMs and for function calling. So some, not all, but a lot of LLMs will let you say, here's a function that gives you, if you have some data, you give it to this function in this format, and that response will be given back to me. So I can register a method basically in my Java code that gets called with the data from the LLM. The LLM will actually call it for me and pass back a response, right? And the result is you can teach it not just to give me the data, but give me the data that will fit in this function, and then that function can do something with it, right? And so there's actually a few LLMs, including OpenAI, that support that. And you can do so portably now with Spring AI, right? You can do so for those that support it. Not all do, but yeah.
This is brilliant. And then you can also now instruct those LMs, or some of them at least,
Right.
To give you structured results.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is-
You can say,
so good.
always give me JSON.
Right.
And then you can either one big just blurb of text, which all of us can recognize by now,
Right.
by the way it's written. If you instruct it to be structured, you can actually parse it programmatically and do something reasonable with it.
Right. Exactly. Which is, you have to be very specific, very precise. You have to say, I want just JSON, nothing else. If you don't know the answer, give me an empty string, right?
Yeah, right,
Or
exactly.
curly bracket,
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But if you're very specific and you're very insistent, and leave no room for misinterpretation, it'll give you structured data, which is you can write code against your LLM.
Yeah, no, this
amazing.
is pretty cool. Yeah, and then you can switch between models because it's a race.
Right.
Right. Every month
every week,
we
right?
hear
Like,
we hear that the other model is slightly better.
Right.
And the ability to switch between them with like a configuration parameter is pretty sweet.
and also I should say, to be 100% fair, I was talking about San Francisco, which has this crazy energy right now for AI. Actually, I'm in the wrong part of town, but here in France, they have Mistral and Hugging Face as well. Those are two big.
Yeah.
LLMs
No,
as well.
well, they have their own focuses of expertise, right? Especially
Clearly.
Mistral is the part when you like how do they call it? I forgot the term.
Mixture of experts.
No, but I mean that they're about like being sure that it's done ethically and controlled and all this kind of stuff.
Which is, it's amazing. Do you remember in the 90s, big software vendors were rewriting their code to use objects?
Yes,
right.
of course.
Now supports object-oriented programming, you know, whatever.
Yep.
And I remember, like, was it WordPerfect or Microsoft? One of those is like now object-oriented. Like, who cares? Like, what? Who cares?
Yeah.
And yes, some people cared. And now we have a sort of hopefully, eventually, soon, we'll get to a point where, because right now you just mentioned the ethically sourced data.
Right.
It shouldn't be something you care about, but it is right now. Sometimes
it is right now. Yeah.
And I'm hoping we'll get to a point where in a few years where it's like ethically sourced, and I'm like,
of course.
Yeah. What's
there
the alternative?
There is any other way. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like these
For sure.
Exactly. You see these products, these chemicals. You know, they're like,
not tested on animals.
No tested on animals. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
How come you just added this sticker now? Why wasn't there?
I mean, what you did test on animals? What's wrong with you? Absolutely.
Like that,
No, I mean, we'll get to the point where like ethically sourced will be the standard de facto. But for now, the entire thing that we actually need to make sure that it is and pay attention to that.
Yeah.
That's part of, it's a part of growing up.
Yeah.
Right, and that's fine. That's converting from the Wild West to something more structured, something more regulated.
Foundationally, we're gonna all agree on some basics.
But it has to be Wild West in order to grow first.
Of course.
Without that, I mean.
And also the different attitudes around data provenance are, it's definitely a cultural thing.
Absolutely.
I think here in Europe, you would agree it's a bit more.
Of course.
They have stronger regimented approaches to that, and I appreciate that.
Obviously, and then the downside of it that it actually hampers the growth, right? And then the question is, do you want it now to be as crazy as possible and bring the controls later when you already have something to control? Basically,
I think we're starting to get to that point where they have something. We know what an LLM looks like at this point, right? Even every mom and dad at home who are not computer people, they go, I know what ChatGPT is,
Yeah, and now it'll be just evolution from there, and this is where.
Isn't that kind of crazy to think about, though? The fact that I know that when I sit there and I get a response from ChatGPT every time, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like it's
same.
Amazing. But it's already been almost 2 years.
Yeah, no, but we're still amazed how good it is.
It's so good.
It's so good. And it's, you know what, now I'm starting to use it for stuff like, hey, I need to review a legal document.
Summarize for me. Exactly.
And then like, wow, I was in such a pain for so many years, and I don't need to be anymore. This is so great.
It's like having it's like Iron Man, the
Jarvis absolutely.
You can just ask this thing. It's in my watch. It's in my wallet. In my pocket. In my computer. I can just. I don't want to sound like a person who's used to it already. I'm not. Okay. I've been using it every day since it came out. I'm still like,
we find new usages every day, which is also very cool, right? The things that we didn't think to ask. And you know what? I think we are close to the point in which that would be our to-go place instead of Google when we have a question.
Already starting to be, and And also, I'm starting to think like, so we have the Spring AI project. One of the really powerful things about Spring, just like when we talked about Microsoft Office and
and the objects in
the
whatever
object linking,
script,
embedding,
Microsoft script, whatever
that
thing.
you can integrate these different Microsoft Office suite
Yeah,
components
yeah, yeah.
in the Spring ecosystem. Each of these projects is useful by itself,
Yep.
but they're really the real value is when they all come together, right? And so you know you can use Spring Boot to
Of
use
course,
Spring AI
of
and
course,
Spring
of
MVC or
course.
whatever. And so now there's these like, just I mean you okay, maybe I'm doing batch processing and I get some bad data with Spring Batch and I need to clean the data.
Yep, yep.
Ask the AI to clean it, see if
Absolutely.
it fixes it, and then try again.
And you
I don't
can
have to break
pipe
Yes.
it all, and this is where the magic is in
Compose.
applying
yeah.
this to everything else.
Exactly.
This is so cool.
Messaging pipelines with Spring integration, and I'm like, I get some data that is I don't understand. Okay, enrich it with AI, you know,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah,
ama-
no,
I got-
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and you know what? The I don't think we realize the richness of opportunities that are out there.
right.
That we're just scratching the surface and what it can do.
Yeah,
And the real thing for us now is to be creative enough to take full advantage of this stuff.
and so this is where I think the Java ecosystem shines, right? Because most people are thinking about AI and they hear the word Python and all that. I'm like,
Yep.
that's you don't need. I don't need to know C to use a SQL database,
Of course.
right? It may be written in C,
Yeah,
but I don't care.
You don't care.
I'm using it
Yeah.
from JDBC and Java
Right,
or JVM,
right,
you know,
right.
or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be C. That's my point. Same thing for these AI LLMs. I don't need to know Python to use to integrate. And for the Java ecosystem, the real win here is not building the next LLM. They've already built them. It's fine. Just use that. It's like Postgres versus MySQL versus Oracle versus whatever.
Yep.
Pick one or
Yep,
10.
or,
even.
or don't pick
Yeah,
one.
Just do all three if you need.
Exactly.
But my point is, that's not the goal is not to build the next one. The goal is to use it. And there,
Yep.
Java is second to nothing. Nothing at all, you know?
Exactly,
Um,
because of the community, because of all the
Right.
integrations, because of all the tools that we already have, is just what limits us now. It's our
Right.
creativity, basically.
And you've got I'm telling the wrong guy. You know that because Devoxx, right? You have some AI in your server.
Yeah, so we do pretty interesting stuff. Obviously, is for a Spring project as well.
Right.
The entire thing that will pick which tests we can skip based on the patterns
so
that we
good.
learn from code, and the numbers are extraordinary. We save 6 days of build time for every week
Yeah.
of work of the Spring team.
Yeah.
With
Wait, it's only six. It's only how many hours?
6 days.
6 days. Right. That's what I was gonna say. That's
6 days.
Yeah, it's
every
huge.
week. Well, of the team and on the build time, and then it predicts with accuracy of 99.8%.
yeah. It
It's
does a great job. We love it.
yeah, no, it saves so much time in
So,
building.
to be clear, the Spring Boot team, we actually use it.
Yeah,
We use
exactly. And
Gradle, they used to call it Gradle Enterprise. It's the
right, it's
new
a
server called
and just
Devoxx.
go to GE for Grail Enterprise.spring.io, and it's open for everybody. You can see the results. They are very very
Big
impressive.
fans, yeah.
Yep.
And it's it's hard enough to get a release of Spring out the door when you're not if you're waiting for your build time. That just seems like a waste of
Yeah, I
everybody's
mean,
life,
who
you know?
does it in 2024? You don't wait for your build. Just
Unless you're
use.
doing GraalVM.
Yep. Oh, yep.
In which case,
Oh, yeah. No, but then you shift
Yeah.
the benefits
Right.
from building it to using it.
shift left, right? I'm shifting optimizations left, and I get the benefits at runtime.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a great time to be alive.
It is.
I-
It is.
hey,
The
when you-
technology really helps.
We're at Devoxx France right now.
Yes.
Have you showed the audience the craziness that it is just beyond our fence over here?
Oh no! You know what? That's a good one. Next one, we're going to turn around the
walk
camera and
around
see
and-
how crazy it is. Absolutely. It's one of the more
This is the biggest Java conference on the planet now, this year.
wow.
I think-
it's larger than Devoxx Belgium.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
and that's straight from Stefan's mouth.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
so today we learned one more thing. Devoxx France is now bigger than Devoxx Belgium.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's huge.
It is huge. It is huge.
And you can see that I think they have 2 floors now, right?
Yeah,
So it's,
it is. It is. So basically, the venue is huge. Is the how do you call it? The Palace of Congress
Yeah.
of Paris. It's a huge venue, and now it's full 2 floors that are all Devoxx friends. It's also an anniversary, 10-year anniversary of
Oh
Devoxx
wow!
friends.
I forgot to mention that.
So
in my talk.
that's that as well.
Of course.
It's a lot of going on, Josh. It's a lot.
It's
of going
amazing.
on.
Yeah. And I'm walking around. I'm like, I keep bumping into nice people, and I couldn't find you. And then I walk over here and I see, oh, there he is.
Yep,
There's my friend.
Everybody are nice because it's Java community. So I took a break from JVM community for Cloud Native,
Right.
and for like what it was like 5-7 years, and I couldn't be happier to come back. It's really coming home. It's great. It's great to hang out with all of you, with you, Josh, of
Likewise.
course. And thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for
and
having
I'll
me.
see you. You will get a lot of Josh in the following couple of months, because we will do that again in JCon in Cologne.
I won't be that one,
What?
but I'll be at
But we will do it again in Devoxx UK.
Devoxx UK like next month,
Of
right?
course.
That'll be
Yes,
fun.
yes,
That's a great
yes.
show.
So yeah, you will get a lot of Josh, and I couldn't be happier about it, and you should too. Josh, thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks, my
It
friend.
was a pleasure. All right.